Hello everyone, this is FallenDice, and welcome back to Burpcraft Feed the Beast with FallenDice. We are back after a decent hiatus. I'd say it's probably been over a year since my last video. Um, and reasons for that are work related. I know I've mentioned my employment before, but for those that didn't already know, I am in the United States Navy. So for the past year, I've been part of a pre-commissioning unit, brand new ship, and part of that goes being in the shipyard, and then some very rigorous requirements to uh, certify the ship, verify everything works, verify the crew knows what they're doing. So it's been a very busy time. Um, I have been back in the area, longer to the point where I could actually do videos. And I had started recording some videos back on Burpcraft when I first got back, but Burpcraft actually went away. So I say this is Burpcraft Feed the Beast. It's not the official Burpcraft because RenEvo has kind of set aside his server hosting duties, we'll say. Um, and so didn't really have the server to play on, so I didn't release those ones because it just seems silly to put out 6 episodes and then just have it end. So what we got here, somebody that RenEvo actually works with has a server that he's doing on his own. He's basically said this is going to be around for a while, so I felt comfortable enough to get back on here and really start building again and kind of doing what I do. So we've been on here for a little while. So I've actually gotten a bit into here, but a lot of what I did was prep work for what we're going to be doing. So I kind of waited till now to really start recording this and putting this in. But what are my plans? So the plans now that I am back, and I'm not completely finished with the craziness that is, the commissioning responsibilities for my ship. We do still have some stuff going, so I'm probably going to record a few of these before I start releasing them because there's going to be, in the next month or so, there's going to be some probably really long hours, and I don't want to be coming back after a year and then automatically having like a couple weeks without a video kind of thing. When I start this, I want to go back to doing a video every week, getting it out there. In addition, though, I also want to do a bit more streaming. So I'm still going to do like the YouTube videos and stuff, but a lot of times instead of having everything I do done on camera, there's actually going to be, some of this is going to almost be a world tourish kind of thing, where I'll come back after, some live streaming and kind of show what we've done on the live stream and then kind of pick up from there. So it's going to be a combination of both, which also I think is good because it gives me the ability to kind of do stuff without having to be recording everything, because sometimes that kind of made things a little more difficult to get progress going because you want to do something but you might not be able to record or at the time or something that just takes a lot of work, and being able to kind of do that with the stream I think is going to make this a little easier and hopefully some good videos. And then of course if you want to, you can always feel free to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/FallenDice05. And that'll give you notifications when I am going to be streaming. Probably be mostly weekends when, of course, I don't have my kids. I'm not a fan of playing while my children are around. That should be my focus is the kids. So, of course, when I have my kids around, I won't be streaming or playing. So like not every weekend, but weekends when I can, and then of course evenings when I have some time to 3, 4, 5 hours, we'll throw that in and do some streaming, get some progress going. So with all that said, I think what we'll do now is I will show you what I've gotten done so far on the server, and then maybe we'll get a. No, I think this will just be kind of a world tour. Here we are. This is what I've got done so far. And then our next episode, we'll actually start doing some new stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and collect this real fast, and then I'll come back and we'll go ahead and kind of walk around and explore some of what we've already done. All right, so our supplies are once again gathered. I have this little stuff. You're gonna notice what I've done so far is all small scale. I didn't want to build a lot of stuff in an area that wasn't going to be my final area. That is my final area, and you can probably see a little bit of it again. I am going to, we're going back. I really liked my underwater biome thing that I'd started doing a couple servers back, and I kind of was bummed that that server went away. So I've decided to go back and do that again. So I've already gotten started, and we'll be over there in a little bit, and you'll see the beginnings of where we are. But what was here was I just needed some basic stuff to kind of get me through the beginnings. Got my trophy there. Yes, yes, you make noise. You do that. Okay. Got a smeltery here, you know, as your initial beginning game stuff. Storage. Lots of just kind of call it garbage. I mean, this stuff here is not good. This is good stuff. I didn't want to start AE until after we actually got to the actual official base. Again, I didn't want to kind of really do things twice. I've got my basic IC2 stuff, and IC2 is going to be the death of me on this server. Iridium, I think the only way that, from what I've understood, you can find a few pieces here and there in dungeons and stuff, but to really get a lot of it, you need UU, and the UU is kind of it's different in this version. I never played this one before, but you don't actually use it to just create items. You have to have an item already, and then it kind of makes clones, I guess, of that item. So I need the original iridium first, and not just the iridium you find inside the dungeons, but the stuff you find in the nether, and it's pretty darn rare. So I started doing one quarry, and then I kind of left off there. So now that we're moving over there, we'll go back to setting up some quarries and trying to get that. But so basic beginning stuff, just to kind of you know, macerate. Got the old washer over here, extractors, you know, your basic stuff. And then of course more stuff over here. My original power was just geothermal, so I have a big old pump just sucking the heck out of a giant lava lake. Twofold for that one. Number one, obviously I wanted lava. Number two, I would love to get one of those heat stones at the bottom of a lava lake, and I just cannot for anything see underneath lava. So I'm hoping that this will open it up to the point where I can go down and try to find one of those, because I would like to do steam at some point. Down here we have my initial, or my original mine. This was a level 38. That's when I was trying to get some more copper and stuff that I needed. But down here's my initial mine. I did quite a bit of it down here before I got enough to where I really didn't need to anymore. Let's expand there. There you go. So you can see down there I did a bit. Never quite finished it, but I didn't have to. But that's just kind of, I like to, you know, cordon off the area to make it easier, so I'm not trying to guess if I've gone far enough. If I ever need to, I can always come back down. But now that we're into quarries, not really a thing. Alright, so that was my initial power. Got some Mistcraft stuff set up just so I can get linking books, which are really nice. I got that going now as well. Right now, we've moved on to fuel. So I did something like this in my last world. I much preferred how the crane on that one worked, because we had the carpenter's blocks. I don't have carpenter's blocks on this one. I threw this together real fast. It's supposed to look like a crane. Not the best crane ever. Why on earth are you up here? I need my sword. Okay, now we'll go back and fight you. Okay. So yeah, this is supposed to be like a refinery, like an oil refinery that you would find. I got the initial oil well, that I'm not touching this because I like how this looks. You can, it looks like it's a working oil well. What I do is, this is a ender tank that's receiving oil from 2 different oil wells way out there in the ocean. They're pumping it into here, which comes down to there, and then that sucks it from here over into our actual refinery here, and then that pumps all the fuel over into here. And then, of course, you know, some power coming up here to give power to 2 pumps, which are feeding water into there. So I've got everything going into tanks, and then with ender tanks, it's going to all the different places. So I shouldn't have issues with overheating, because right now I don't quite have the assembly table yet, so I can't make all my gates and stuff. I could make one. It's not that I don't have the resources. Again, I didn't want to do that in one place and then do it again in another. So that's what we're using right now to power everything. That's like my tree island. I just go over there and whack a bunch of trees. Up here I've got my rubber, even though I haven't had to use a lot because without the iridium there's not a lot I can really do with IC2 right now, but we'll get to there. So anyway, alright, so that is that. What do we got? Refinery, home base, and I've got the Dome 1, Dome 2. There's not really a lot at spawn. And some other episodes I may go around exploring a little bit. RenEvo's on here playing, Shoe Dog's on here playing. And I think those are mostly the only two that I really see on here, besides Data Dink, who's actually running the server. So let's see. Oh yeah, we can go take a peek at the, I'm actually kind of curious to see how the lava's doing right now anyway. I set up a little bit of a nether thing for myself down here. The other part about this is I haven't mentioned it yet, we're playing the Monster Pack, Feed the Beast 1.6.4. So with the Monster Pack, when you mine items in the nether, you make the zombie men angry, which makes them want to kill you. So everything in here is meant to prevent spawns and stuff, because they get angry at you really fast and really easy. So you can see where we're draining out the lava lake now. Doing a pretty decent job of that. It's going to take a while to get there, but I think once I build my my larger base and then I really start using this for power, hopefully we'll start draining more. I really would like to find a heat stone. Let's see. Not really much else to see in the nether, except for maybe like the quarry. Up around here is... bad. Up around here was wherever my quarry was. It just basically feeds down into the lava, so there's not a lot there. Let's see. We'll pull out our books now. Dome 1 is where we're working right now. And all I've done so far, we've got the dome up. And this took me a while. So what I do on here, this is actually 4 quarries in a square. And then once the quarries are done, I basically I cap a level off where I want the ground level to be with dirt. And then using a filler, I fill this all back up with sand till about 2 blocks from the surface of the water. And then after that, I put in a level of dirt over the top. That way I can do this all completely not in the water. I'm completely dry. So then I go over there and I kind of use... They have this cool little tool or block now from Open Blocks. Is it in here? It's not. Well, basically it generates transparent blocks in spheres or whatnot, so you can set it out and it'll kind of mark it. Unfortunately, with this size, it was super laggy. It was such a pain, but we got it done. Down here, this is where my house is going to be, so we're going to be building all of our automations and stuff underneath. And where's my... What the... There should be a hole somewhere coming down. I don't remember capping it, but I guess I did. Alright, so I ran out of dirt, so I got this half kind of filled up so I can dig down, you know, for my rooms and stuff like that. I may end up leaving this. Who knows? And then, of course, from here, this is just the above the bedrock area. Now, another thing that's cool that I have down here, as we get up higher so you can actually see those. Everywhere you see this, that's got one of those shale deposits. So when it was still full of water, I capped these all with dirt. Otherwise, they release this really toxic explosive gas. That's, when I say explosive, I'm serious, explosive. Like, it looks like a friggin' nuclear bomb went off. So at some point, I may go down there and use that as a power source as well, which would be kind of cool. I have to do a little bit more research on that one to see if it's something I really want to think. I mean, it's something different. Sometimes it's just cool doing something different. And this is me just kind of playing around with height levels to see exactly how high this is. I would like to have been able to go down a few more blocks lower on this, but I'm gonna have when we get to this part here, we'll have to start tweaking it. But we'll eventually be, I'll probably lay out the floor at least here to figure out where the steps going down into the basement are. That way I can go down to the basement and start constructing our actual machinery so we can start building some of the cool stuff we want. And if you look over there, you can already see where the next quarries are actually already in progress. So there will end up being kind of right down the middle. We'll have a tunnel here that's going to be going straight over to our next dome. And like the previous server, each dome is going to be a separate biome. So this is the plains. I do need to still put some trees, some tall grass, flowers, things like that. I may even put like a small village of some sort in here. Once I'm sure the light's all good and I'm not going to get any spawns, we can release some villagers in here, and I think it'd be kind of cool to have like a small village. Plans for that. Let's see, dome number 2. There we go. And dome number 2 right now, it's not really a dome, it's just 2 quarries. So we've already got the first quarry finished, and can't really see that. Let me actually, when I put on my little charms, I definitely can see better, so we'll throw those on right now. Alright, so we can see the first quarry is completed. This one's kind of just gotten started. It's a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean it's a lot of work doing these domes, so that's going to be like a side project or maybe possibly a stream or something. Speaking of streams, another thing we still have to do is we need to build ourselves the Ender that hasn't been done on this server yet. We have fought the dragon, but we haven't actually built the Ender yet, so that's kind of, like I said, it's a project that I still have to do yet. Some point eventually too, we'll get a little bit into some bees. I think that one may not be as much recorded wise as done off to the side because that's one of those. But there you can see how we got the fuel coming in, feeding all that, and yeah. So like I said, I am somewhat into this a little bit. I've gotten some done, but mostly it was like starter prep stuff. You know, kind of getting myself set up to actually do this for real. Now that we have all that, and my jetpack has died. Now that we have all that, I figured it was a good time to go ahead and start recording now and get back into the swing of that. One thing I had noticed when I was playing before I decided to really start recording again, I found myself kind of floundering for direction. I knew what I wanted to do, but when you're not really, when you don't have a plan, when you don't have everything kind of set up, like, you know, I got to do this for this episode or this for this stream, you know, everything just kind of is like, well, I need this, I need this, I need this, and then sometimes I just kind of sit around and really do almost nothing because it was really hard to focus. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing this again because now, you know, each episode has a goal, you know, an end game. I'm gonna, you know, I'm building this. At the end of the episode, this will be completed. You know, working towards such and such project. You know, and I think that's gonna help me really kind of move further along, because you know the other guys in the server, RenEvo's already got, you know, nuclear reactors and stuff, and Shoe's pretty much just explored just about every rogue dungeon on the server. You know, they've been doing a lot of stuff, whereas, like I said, I spend a lot of time with quarries and dirt and glass and kind of getting that thing set up. So I'm thinking this should be a lot of fun to get back into this, and I'm hoping to get some really good videos, and I'm hoping you guys first off are glad that I'm back, and I hope you guys enjoy these things. So I think that's where we're going to leave this episode off here. I think that's pretty much everything I've done so far. Like I said, at some point later we might do some visiting, or I might save that for like the live streams too, because I think it's a lot of fun if the guys are on to actually go visit their bases while they're there and do it that way. But either way, if you guys have any suggestions or anything you like, give me a let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to try and kind of fit that in. But again, I'm extremely excited and happy to be back, and looking forward to all the cool stuff I plan on doing in here on this channel. And yeah, I guess that we'll call this an episode. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.